I want to switch because they can tell we got old water bottles there, man.
Yeah.
We gotta switch this one.
How do you move this? Get rid of that already.
Yeah, I think we can do a clean table now.
I'm getting my steps in, Brandon. I'm getting my steps in.
Okay, we just start the episode just.
You can add that in.
Hold up. This episode's not about us getting pulled over by the cops, man.
I'm sorry.
Stop and frisk.
I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I'm sorry. I just thought it would be appropriate with the Reddit comics thing.
So disclaimer, we're a little bit of ratchetness mixed in with the righteousness. So
A little bit.
please, don't worry about the ratchetness. We'll get there eventually.
GPS.
Remember that my English is not very good looking, but I am very glad to say that. Enjoy the show.
All right, y'all. Welcome back. This is episode 4.
Quattro.
We now have as many episodes as there are gospels. Boom. That's what's up. So,
Brought that back. You see that full
see
circle?
what I'm saying? Told you.
We have a
We get there.
Sprinkle of Jesus.
Salt Bay. Nah, so yeah, man. Welcome back. Here's another episode. Yeah, I love how these things are going. They're just so organic and real. So that's what's up. I'm gonna introduce the topic this time. Our topic is
We're not
Rico.
praying.
We're gonna pray. What's the topic though, Rico? Because you're better at memorizing it. I told you, man. I'm still.
He said
I'll
I'll
be
introduce
lost.
the topic. Hold on.
Topic for the show is pit stop.
Hit stop.
No,
Hit stop.
flat tire. I'm fired.
Rewind. Take 2.
Yeah. Rico, what's the episode about, bro?
The episode is about flat tire.
Flat tire.
Flat tire.
I hate getting a flat tire. Yo, it happened. You didn't know this. This is maybe about a month ago. I left here out of group, and I went and I pulled out the spot, and all of a sudden I'm like, what's going on with my car? I stopped at the red light over here. It was a wrap. Luckily, shouts out to the dude around the corner, because I was able to get a tire right there.
That's
Boom.
nice.
That's one of the good things about being around here.
I was just about to say,
There's
that's
a
the
lot
perks of being in the hood.
Yeah,
of
and it
tire
wasn't
shops.
even a lot. And he did it in 10 minutes, bro.
Nice.
Don't worry, my friend. I take care of you.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, let me tell you something. One time I got a flat tire, right? It was in my parking lot. So, I tell my dad, who's a cab driver, and he's like, can't help you with that. I tell my brother, who's a mechanic, he's like, can't help you with that. And I'm like, bro, and I had to take the kids from group somewhere. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, all right, we Ubering it, Josue here, this is what we gonna do. And then a Jornadista came and changed my tire. He was like, oh, word? Hold on, I'm stopping right by. And he did it. My dad drives by, and he's like, primo. And I'm like, ba, you went to his wedding. I'm gonna need you to have a little more respect. And then he's just watching him change the tire, and he's like, you do a good job. And it was Andy.
I'm gonna teach you how to change a tire.
I know how, but I can't physically do it.
And that is this week's episode of Heidi's Hood Tales. Had your own segment.
I was gonna have a little obscene gesture.
All right, let's pray, jump in. Heidi, actually, on that note, you lead us in prayer.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Thank you, God, for bringing us together today. Thank you for allowing us to be able to serve you in the ways that we know how. And thank you for all of the things that you give us and the things that you don't give us. And with that, we say, glory be to the Father, to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and shall be, a world without end.
Amen. Flat tires. So, they're mad inconvenient. They always happen at the worst time.
When the train stops, that's for you. That's your flat
You
tire.
know, you
The train gets stopped. When the train stops.
When you're stopping, it's like, please hold.
You know when you get stuck in between
the stations.
stations?
And then, not only that, your station to get off is the next station.
Damn, I wish you would have had an angle right here to get that face.
Yeah. No, like when it's like train traffic ahead. How is there train traffic? You know what I mean?
It's because they never run on time, so like 8 trains are going
That
are
don't make no
arriving at
sense.
the same station at the same time.
If you're from New York, you know.
Yeah.
And clear of the closing doors, please.
So yeah, like oh, did you see the memes of like the dude? Like everybody was tight because some random dude jumped in the tracks.
So yo,
And
trying
they're
to
like,
go,
yo,
trying to get to work, yo. That's the most New York.
Like not that again.
It was like a collective teeth sucking moment. It was just like.
That is the most New York like response to anything ever. Like
So this episode is about a time where you were inconvenienced in a major way, it threw you off. Yeah,
I got you right now. Ready?
go for it.
Alright, so boom, this is how it goes. So, in my last year of college, I had to do a thesis to graduate. So I was doing research, and basically, I had to set these things in like a little like petri dish, and I had to stick them in like an incubator. Okay, and I was doing that for weeks, literally a whole year, just sticking incubator. And I'm over here like looking on the microscope, I'm researching, I'm taking photos, blah blah blah. 2 weeks before my thesis is due, I put stuff in the incubator. I left the thing open and I'm trying to fix it. The other person who was doing thesis with me, she likes to play pranks on me all the time, so she decided to scare me. She goes, boo, and she scares me. And in the reaction, I hit the shelf and everything in the shelf went. Now I'm working with liquid that has to be put in these little wells. And I just sat there and I knew that all my research just went down the toilet right now. And when I take out these petri dishes, and not only was it my research, I felt bad because it was her research as well.
Eso fue yo.
I look at it and I'm like, oh my God. But she didn't know, right? Luckily, the shelf was like primarily mine. So all my research was gone and it was only like one of hers. So I lucked out. Right? And I'm
How
like,
you
shit.
lucked out. She did that to you.
Yeah, whatever, right?
Holy
So,
Jesus.
so I'm just sitting there
Patty.
That's
and
why
I'm
we
just
here.
like, yo, like it's over. Like I'm not gonna graduate. Like I failed my mama. My mama paid all. My mama did all this. My mama literally had this. Like I am busting my behind for you to get through college. All you gotta do is hold up your end of the bargain. Like that's all you gotta do. And I'm like, yo, I only have one job, and I failed her.
I just have to take care of these little dishes.
Yo, I literally and then I'm scared. Like, yo, if I can't take care of these little dishes, like how I took care of my turtle for like the last 19 years. Like, come on.
We already spoke about Franklin.
Hey, it's Franklin.
Like,
Alright.
bottom line was, what do you do when you get a flat tire? You find a way to fix it and you keep going, right? Either you put the spare on or you gotta do something, right? So then I was like, all right, it's time for, I was known as Clutch Rigo in college because I used to never do no work, and then the last weeks of the semester I used to clutch my grades. I was like, well, I gotta clutch again. I had to recreate almost a whole year's worth of work in 2 weeks. I was getting out of like school, and I used to be an actor at the time, so I was already coming out of school at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. This play was over, so I was leaving school at still 12 o'clock, 12:30 in the morning, trying to reproduce all this stuff. Luckily, I redid it. I got the photos of how to do it. It was a lot of sleepless nights for those 2 weeks. I got the thesis done, and I got an A.
So what you're telling us is that your whole thesis is invalid.
No, it's valid. It's just rushed. It's a good thing
You
pictures.
got an A though. I mean, like,
Science.
It's a good thing picture.
I don't think college professors really read your things because
No, she did it, 'cause I submitted-
I've submitted some things and I get a grade back and I'm like,
Yeah,
really?
you're like, really? You
Just
read
say
that?
shout out to Dr. Koenig.
I got an A.
I submitted it.
Did you read what I
She
wrote?
didn't read it till after I graduated. Like I had my diploma in my hand already.
Oh, you
And
she's
then
like,
she
no, I take that back.
and then she read it. And then she read it. And I'm like, and she goes, oh, this is really brilliant. Da da da. I sent this to my directors at MIT, and I'm like, oh, we're cool. Don't care, bro, because I was so stressed out from it.
After this podcast,
sometimes-
the degree's gonna be revoked.
That's like, yo, listen, we all got a college story that we did some foo-foo on something. Mine was literally why I spent 4 years trying to accomplish. I just foo-fooed it in 2 weeks. Or whatever. It is what it is.
No, but sometimes when you're under pressure, you actually do it better.
Yeah.
Pressure forms diamonds, so
So
pressure forms diamond,
Yeah.
and right now I'm shining bright like one. So you feel me?
Moving right along.
Cut the cameras.
This is the arrogant episode. All right. But anyway, yeah, that's my flat tire moment.
So mine was not even a flat tire. My tire literally rolled off while I was on the highway.
The car's on fire.
Yeah. So check it. We are driving to, where's that? Pittsburgh. From here to Pittsburgh is long.
That's a long
6-hour drive.
That's another side of the state,
Something
yo.
like that. Yeah. So someone I went to high school with, long story anyway, he was getting married. We were driving out there for the wedding. We almost there. We're literally 20 minutes from the parish. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on the highway, and you know, like when you get outside of New York, the speed limit goes from like 55 all the way to like 70. You know what I'm saying? And that means people are doing like 100. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the exits are like really far apart. And so I don't know. We driving, boom. We going in. I'm trying to I've done long drives, but I hadn't done one that long before. But I was like trying to psych myself up, like, okay, cool, music on, cool. I'm gonna throw some like a sermon on, some preaching, something like kind of like keep my mindset. Everybody falling asleep in the back. Got this. We get there, and I could tell something don't feel right. You know, like in the car, there's a moment where it don't feel right. But I'm like, and so I'm like starting to slow up, and I'm like, man, should I pull over? Should I not? Nah, yo, I'm gonna get there. It's only 20 minutes, right? And so I went. And all of a sudden, driver's seat, front wheel tire, like right on the left side, literally rolls off.
And you're looking at it.
And I see, the car like tilts over, and I see, and sparks fly up, and I'm like, oh, and I like. Jenna woke up. My wife woke up. She was like, "What's going on?" And she's like screaming, and I'm just like trying to. And I don't know how I did it. I like stopped and I like guided like somehow. Luckily, I was already like on the side lane. I got right into the little shoulder. I was. Yeah. Got out, like looked, and I was like, "How in the world did that happen?" You know what I'm saying?
You're like this, so you just got on like you over here to the ground.
You can't run out the window because you can't open the door because it's inside
My
the
door wouldn't even open.
I got out, I looked, and I'm like, okay, what in the world are we gonna do? And so as we're looking, I'm trying to figure out, like, man, do we call tow? Like, what do we, like, literally, like, one of them, like, highway sheriffs, like, happens to pull up. He was like, everything all right with you guys? And we explained the situation. Yeah.
What? No, yeah, let me fine, officer.
No, he didn't see it at first. He just came up and asked. And then, anyway, that dude was like the nicest, and you would think like he's kind of like a country, like, so we're like already like, city minority. We expect we're gonna be treated a certain type of way. Nah, man, he's one of the nicest people I ever met in my entire life. Like, he was just like, oh, I'm gonna help you out with this. And he was like, oh, well, they have this tire shop over here. Oh, well, we can call. The precinct actually has like a towing thing that they work with. All right, cool. Like, he helped us. We wound up, so long story short, it was like a Saturday. And like in them little towns, like everything shut down at like 3:00 in the afternoon. And so like, we got to the place, we wound up having to go to the dealership in the area. They were about to close. So we were gonna have to wait all the way till Monday for them to fix it and go back. So we were gonna have to get a hotel, stay, everything. We didn't have no clothes with us for the weekend, all that stuff, right? But it was crazy, that situation, because like from that sheriff, like mad people in that town were nice. And at first it started creeping me out. Like, I'm thinking like it's about to be one
Why
of
you
those
so nice
like
to me?
movies that's like, hi.
yeah, like we about to get got,
No, that is a culture shock. It's like, how are you so nice?
But not only that, like, so I just happened to be like, hey, look, and I posted on my story. Like, so we're like, yo, this is gonna be crazy to pay for all, you know what I'm saying? Because we hit, that whole piece had to be replaced and everything. So it wasn't just the tire itself. Anyway, crazy thing, like people just started like texting and calling out the woodwork, like, hey, you want us to send you money? Hey, y'all need help? Yo, I'm not even like, no cap. Like, yo, it was like one of the things where like, honestly, like we walked away with like $50 more than what we spent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, out of that weekend, like my grandmother called me, someone from her family, another friend, even my boy V, like was like, yo man, I don't get paid till next week, but I'm gonna send you like $30. At least I can get something to eat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Shout out to V.
Yeah, shout out to V.
And
But it's one of those things, like, it's weird how like, yo, we expect that people are gonna be different than they actually are. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are nicer than we give them credit to be. You know, we're a little bit more cynical than we need to be.
Did you make the wedding on time though? Like,
no, we didn't go. We didn't make it at all. You know what I'm saying? I had to call him too because actually I was supposed to do the reading like in the mass, and I was like, bro, not happening. Like,
send him the photo. This happened, bro. I'm
But
not
y'all
lying.
got like a little paid family vacation. So.
How much was it? But you were in the middle of nowhere, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there was no, it was outside of Pittsburgh, so it was a little town. Like if it was in Pittsburgh, at least it's a city. Nah, it's outside. So like we had to walk. I remember because we had nothing to wear. We walked to like the Dollar General, got some like oversized like pajama pants. You know what I'm saying? And stuff to just walk around with. At least you got like Pampers and all
How
stuff
about
for
a
babies.
toothbrush? Like y'all got me.
Yeah, we got all that. We got all that stuff. Yeah.
They got the basics.
Yeah.
Dollar
They got
store,
to the
come in clutch.
Facts.
Shout out to Dollar Tree.
The 99
Flat tire.
flat tire. That was such a good story, bro.
I know. None of us could top that now.
Alright, so I can say college too. Towards my last semester, so I was a TV and film major, but so what happened was that I started out at Stack. So I did 1 year away upstate,
And then I graduated, so she left.
exactly. And a lot of people would say like, "Yo, Heidi, we see you more when you went away to college."
My grandma said that multiple
than-
times.
Yeah, like
To your
than
face.
You actually like living in the city.
That's because she was going home with me every weekend.
Yeah, I would come, like literally, I would come home Thursday nights and go home on Sundays.
A question: what did you transfer to when you came back?
Why do you want me to say it?
I don't know. Just.
No, but I followed her.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm about to be
She
like.
followed me.
Set that one
But
out.
anyway. Sorry, you don't have to cut all of this because we goes. Anyway, so at my new school, anyway, the reason I bring up Stack is because I had an advisor who literally set up my whole career. And she was piloting a new major, which was social media marketing. I should have been smart and stayed there. But the issue is that it was like such a small town, and when you from like New York City, the fact that you cannot get to the bank without walking 20 minutes, there's no bodegas, the buses only run from like 8 a.m. to like 2 p.m.
They come like every hour.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was not for me. I didn't drive. These kids were like, "Where's your license?" I would take out my Metro card, like right here, bro. This is all I need. So I ended up transferring, and I went to a much bigger school where I had a different advisor every semester. And the closest thing to what I was doing at Stack was TV and film, because I didn't want to just do communications. I wanted to focus on the film aspect of it, the production, really. And then I changed my mind junior year, and I was like, nah, I really want to go into teaching. Like, I knew I always wanted to teach, but I wanted to do it from the jump. But they were like, it's going to be another 4 years. And I was like, bro. So now I got to get a degree that I don't even want to get, because I wanted to finish up. So my last semester, I was taking like 5 classes, and I was really, in reality, I was really only going to like 3. And that's another thing where I was talking about, where it was like, I was very distracted with like life, parties, whatever. And I ended up like being told like, yo, you're not graduating on time. And that hit me so hard, because I took pride in like, you know, graduating in the 4 years and like being somebody who was always so good at school and things like that. And that's why I tell people, like, if you're gonna go to college, make sure that you're going for something that you love, something that's your passion, because you're not gonna have a doubt in your mind that that's what you need to do. And like, for me, it was just like, I don't want to do this no more. The school wasn't really helping me out. Their film department was trash. I never really had an advisor say like, hey, these are the steps that you need to take. Let me help you get this internship. Like freshman year, this lady was already getting me an internship at the old school. So I got really like discouraged, and like, I'm not gonna lie, like it was the worst moments of my depression was during that time, when I had to finish my degree, and that was my flat tire. And like, I wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for one of my sorority sisters who was like, nah sis, you only got 2 classes left, like we're gonna fix this. Like, she would sit there with me and do homework. And like, I remember being at a frat house doing homework with like the hookup. But like my friend was there, like, yo, you better do that assignment. You better write back on that discussion board. And it's like, it was so far from my mind. And it's not something that I wanted to do. It's not something that I was focused on. But having her there, like, she was legit changing my tire. Where she was like uplifting me and telling me like, nah, you're gonna do this. Like, you're gonna finish. So yeah, shout out to Isa. And yeah, like, I really think that if it wasn't for her, like, I wouldn't have graduated. I would have left it. Mira, I'm the queen of unfinished. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to sound repetitive, but, you know, these are college stories.
Yo, why we taking? Someone gotta work first.
Anyways.
Yo, can we switch him out?
Can we like
Where's the bubble? Get the bubble.
We could just take the
thing and put
image
it-
and just put it right here. Do you want to check?
Nah, I think we good.
Okay. So going from a small school campus to a larger school campus is a huge adjustment. And for my undergrad, I studied criminal justice, which was cake because I was interested in it. And I kind of been doing that my whole life. But when I went for my master's in theology, which that was like, as it was, way in over my head. Going to such a large university where you had professors teaching you theology and they weren't even believing what they were teaching. And then they were teaching their views instead of like actual factual things. So I would leave class more times confused than what I did walking in. Like when I walked out of class, I was like, what did I just listen to? Like what did I just waste my time on? And not having that guidance in the school, which I was already used to from my smaller school setting. And then having the extra component of, I don't even know how to say it without saying it. So I was part of a scholarship program, and having the component towards my scholarship program who they were very good at dropping the ball. So, you know, for those of you that are in college or that are going to college, in order for you to register, they have to give you a code for you to register for your classes, and money has to be paid in order for you to get that code to register for your classes. And my portion of my tuition was paid off already and paid for, but the other portion that was supposed to be released still has not been released, and I graduated already. So I actually
shouts out to the people on top that
yeah.
don't do their job.
Which is crazy because I was able to participate in graduation, but I still haven't been able to submit my portfolio, which is like my thesis. So I still don't have that piece of paper that says I finished, because the funds have not been released, and they are tired of lifting that band because they were lifting that band for 2.5 years and they still haven't received any money. So, and I work here in the church and I don't got 16 grand in my pocket to like pay my school. So my flat tire that still has not been changed is me trying to finish this degree.
If there's any rich Catholic people watching this podcast,
Yo,
listen to
she
this
needs
podcast.
You don't even gotta pay it to me. I'll give you the school's name.
Yo, you want to do better. You want to do better.
I'm trying to get my master's too. I'll go to a cheaper college.
I just want a vacation. I'm not in debt or nothing like that. I just want a vacation.
Go home, Rigo.
Damn Petri dishes.
Anyways, yeah. But in light of the flat tire that's still extremely flat, it brought me, throughout the whole process, it brought me closer to God here. It actually kind of made me more serious and learning more, because I felt like I went into the degree to get my degree in order to better serve the kids that we teach here, because I felt like I didn't know enough to teach, And then I graduated, and I still feel like I don't know enough because I think I'm more confused now than I was before. But it fueled my hunger to learn more about our faith, why we do what we do, how to do it, and how to teach the younger kids so that they don't feel the emptiness that I felt. So I guess that's my upside to it. But my tire is still flat.
Hashtag help a sister out.
Jesus, take
No, don't take the wheel.
Just change my tire.
Stranded in town for a weekend.
Just change my tire. Don't take the wheel.
Okay. Jesus, you can take this wheel anytime. Since I know I'm doing.
Again, another college story.
Oh my God.
I just copycat.
We educated.
Y'all copying me.
Nobody
We
wants-
educated. Educated.
Educated.
So, you know, in high school, you think you're getting all these 90s, and you're like, I'm ready for
Word.
college. Nah. I'm sorry.
That first semester humble you real quick.
It really do.
I feel like freshman year is the only time they actually read your work.
Yo, get this kid out of here.
So I was like very active in my high school. So I was like in student government, and then like helping out with other like talent shows and all of those kind of things, and then also being part of the church here as well. So I was like managing a lot of things, and I'm like, oh, I could do this in college, whatever. Like piece of cake, right? Nope. See, in college, they're not as strict as they are in high school. So like, it's not their responsibility if you show up to class. It's not their responsibility if you don't do the work. Like, nobody calls home, nobody calls you, and like, no.
3 absences, your letter grade goes down.
So I took the all my wheels fell off.
Yo,
It was in the hood. They just jacked your tire, left you on cinder blocks.
Take the chain, son. Just take the chain. Call an Uber, bro, because this ain't working out for you.
you ain't got no money for
Metro card.
Right. Not woman, but it goes
You hopping? You hopping?
college.
You hopping 10 style?
So freshman year, I'm like not doing what I had to do. So it really messes up my whole career path. And so, long story short, I get disbanded from school because my academic grades weren't high enough. And like before this, I was like really ashamed to even talk about it or whatever, because it's like, you know, like, oh, you got kicked out of college or whatever. But it's a reality. Like, you know, you live and you learn. And if you can't accept your failures, then there's no possible way for you to continue to grow. So I had to take a semester off, and like I didn't even tell my parents at this point. Like,
So were you acting like you were going
Where they thought you went? Where?
no, like
I would never forget when you told me this. I was like,
so like it was like in June, like late May, early June, that I got the email, and like I had classes to go to school in August, but I was not in school, like registered at all. So like it was hard to kind of like tell your parents like, hey, I'm not going.
Hey.
I'm gonna take a semester off.
Don't even tell her this. When she on September 4th, when she found you in your room sleeping at like 10:30. What you used to doing here? Oh, by the way, I ain't going.
So that was another, you know, kind of, it was a difficult time. But then I got back to it, started again last year, and I've been doing better since. I've been actually focused on my work, and so like it was a learning curve, it was a learning experience, because I thought like I could just do whatever I wanted. I didn't really have to show up. I could do this on my own, whatever. And then you fall into the whole like kind of little depression where you're falling behind everybody else now. Like you see your friends, they're juniors or like whatever, graduating, and you're just like, I'm like 2 years behind, yay. So like, you know, like that gets to you, and then you just have to realize like everybody's path is not the same. Like my path to the curve, for God knows, probably the better. Like from that experience, I learned more than what that person could have learned at some point. So it was all, you know, in God's hands. He took care of it, and you know, like you live and you learn, and I just gotta continue, and just now I know, like, you know, I have to be serious. If this is what I really want to do, then this is what I have to do, and yeah, just gotta keep pushing.
Out of boy, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Something wrong here.
All right.
So what's up, guys? All right, so in these quarantine hours, you know, a lot of people are staying home from work and staying inside in the crib because they can't really leave. You get real bored, right? So for the viewers out there, give them something to watch. So what is one series you suggest binge watching, and what is your favorite movie that you suggest to the viewer that they watch while they're inside during quarantine? Now realize we want to give them something to watch, right? So if somebody says your idea, guess what? You gotta change your idea when it's your turn to go.
It's cool. I got plenty. I got practice.
Go.
Shows.
No, you should wait because
Right.
you
Let's
got
go.
all the-
Options.
Oh yeah, she's
got
last.
options.
She's last.
So Vanessa,
I mean, this is kind of old already, but there's still some people that haven't seen you.
I haven't seen it.
yeah,
I haven't
I
seen
feel
it.
like you have to see you. Like,
haven't seen it.
You saw you have to see you.
I'm scared to watch that because
That's such a weird. That's a weird like concept. You have to see you.
Listen, it's
What?
crazy. It's dark, so if you're like, not
squeamish.
Let's do like 18, just because I don't want to be sued for nobody watching you.
Man,
You know.
what they be watching?
I know
on
they
YouTube
be
at, like,
watching
12?
worse, but whatever. But I gotta cover myself, my favorite movie. I'll come back to me for a movie because I don't really watch TV, so like I don't be watching movies. I saw you
In theaters, maybe.
That was it. What's in theaters?
Your
Theaters
movie
are
that you
closed.
ever watched your entire life. You can't remember right now.
I don't know. Just watch Frozen.
Damn, that was one of my movies. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Go ahead. Keep it moving.
Me and Brandon love Frozen
I
too,
love
right, Brandon?
Frozen. 1, 2.
Part 2 is
Lots of
worse
action.
because every 3 minutes is that. Oh,
Yeah.
it's like a bird getting sacrificed in the back. You know?
Wow, yo, Disney, don't sue us, bro. Don't sue us.
Don't come for
Walt Disney got money, bro.
Remember, we poor.
Watch the last episode. You get it.
Nah.
Brandon.
Me shows. I don't know. I really like superhero shows. So like any of them, like Flash, Arrow, those are cool to me.
You ever seen
You know what I'm saying?
the retro Spider-Man? I think we talked about the retro Spider-Man from the 90s.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
cool.
like that kind of stuff. I'm a little bit of, like the show that me and my wife watch every week is This Is Us.
I heard that was
I
good.
gotta
I
start
heard that was
That's
good.
on my to-do list.
That's the
love
one.
that show.
That's the one that. Like
Yeah.
they were like it was triplets and one of them make it and they had to adopt
Okay,
up.
yeah, don't give
Yeah.
away the
No,
whole
this is
show.
anyway. That's literally
We
happens in the
haven't
first
watched
episode.
it. I haven't watched
That happens in the
it.
first
All right,
episode. That's not a big deal.
No, that's the premise of the show. You should know
Yeah,
that.
but what's
Yeah.
cool about it, especially so now in the season it's in now, it's like it's more in the future. But in the first
Y'all
like
up to
2
date,
seasons,
right?
it goes back and forth from like when they're little kids to when they're 30 years
Yeah,
old. So,
it's one of those.
so like
Alright.
back in the day
So
when the
I'm
parents just
gonna
got
be texting
together,
y'all.
like, and you see these connections, which is really cool. Like I think a lot of stuff. Yeah. Movies. What is the latest movie? Let me try that. Yeah, I don't know.
See the movie?
You're gonna
like
say
Marvel.
Avengers? Like,
Yeah, that's it. Like Avengers. That's-
what's the favorite Marvel movie ever produced?
I like the Thor Ragnarok. That movie's hilarious. Thor Ragnarok was probably one of the best
Jokes.
ones out of all of them. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's hard right now. What's a good? I can't think of a good. What was the last good movie I saw? I can't think of it right now.
That's the parent life because you're stuck watching Frozen.
You're gonna be real disappointed with my suggestion.
Or Swear?
Power let me down. Like the way they ended that series,
I
they let me down.
couldn't even.
Even
get
though the
into
Tommy series like is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
But the other ones, I don't know. Yeah.
Josie.
And if anybody watch Power, just note you might like have to fast forward parts and go to confession for watching some of the scenes.
Comment on the bio how you feel about Power.
But yeah.
I haven't seen that one either.
Me neither. So we have the same one. Series to watch would be Scandal.
Yes.
That
But
was-
yo, I hate her teeth. This
You
is
hate
how
her
she
teeth?
acted.
What?
She literally acted this. Yo,
Did you see how these
I
jump?
love her and she's a great actress, but she literally be kind of like this.
Oh, that's
Bro,
true.
like come on. In everything else that she makes
Put that camera angle for that one.
I cannot
Get that camera
look at
angle for that one.
Bro,
Yo. Okay.
I'm gonna send y'all pictures in the group chat.
Okay.
Oh God.
Of a damn teeth.
So that's a really good. Or How to Get Away with Murder. Another good show.
Josue, you really scare me with the shows you
I know.
suggested. Like,
Are you sure it's not you? Like,
let me just move up a little bit.
I couldn't.
A little
catch
crazy.
up to
He watched you though.
Yeah.
that makes sense with his list.
You know, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, you. All necessities. Okay.
Did you see the crossover?
We're gonna pray for you, Josue.
Yeah.
It was
Everybody
good,
extend
it
your
was
hands.
good.
Holy Spirit, descend upon this man.
Lord Jesus. And movie?
Movie, The Incredibles, first and second one.
Oh.
And then a recent movie I watched was the Invisible Man. That one was.
I heard that was good.
It was.
I heard that was good.
It was really good.
Was that the one with Will Smith? No.
No, Bad Boys, the new Bad Boys. That was in my movie. That was good. There you go. That was the latest good movie I seen.
got so high.
You said
We
Will
gotta
Smith.
listen. You gotta make a list of these things so that you can text it to us so that we can watch it.
Yo, the new
In the
Bad
comments,
Boys.
in the comments downstairs,
Boys.
in the comment, in the
But it's
comment,
In the comments
in
downstairs.
the description section,
Right in the comment downstairs.
in the description for all these movies.
But is it streaming yet?
No, it ain't.
I'll leave you.
Womp womp.
First,
You ready for my suggestions?
Go ahead, boo.
Grey's Anatomy, all 16 seasons. It's still
16
on air.
seasons?
Yes.
How many seasons are there?
Each season's like
if
20
you-
episodes.
Oh,
If
an
you're
hour
in quarantine,
each.
that's the best thing to watch. It's like hospital
It makes you
drama,
come out
get
thinking
crazy.
you a doctor.
hospital
I'm a
drama
surgeon.
with the coronavirus, and you want to watch people in hospitals?
That's 320
Yes,
episodes, girl.
I'm not used
You
to
really
that.
did the
then.
math?
Yeah, I was like, you not seeing me on the table?
To be honest, I think
Carry
it's
the
more
one.
because it's like 24, 25.
Oh, you said 20.
I was just
No.
taking
It was a
So yeah, that's a
guesstimate.
really good one. I've gotten some friends onto it, and we literally have a support group.
My wife
for it.
watches that, but I can't.
So
do it.
good. If you love a character, don't because they gonna die. That's it. That's all I got.
Spoiler.
Listen, I watched one episode at the nail salon and was like sucked in. I went back and they were still on like season like 8, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this. Like,
Remember we were in Canada.
A
You
whole
made us
month
watch
later.
the one with the shootout.
Yeah.
I was like,
Wasn't that good? That's the episode
It was
I
good.
show everybody.
It's good.
Because it got them hooked. Anyway, Shonda Rhimes is great. All her works are great. Like How to Get Away with Murder, all that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Great writing.
Great Christian content.
Yo, you know what though? It's on ABC, so
wait, what?
ABC is like.
No, I meant that. Never mind.
Anyway, and then my movie is this movie. Besides Frozen, is one of the movies that I can watch literally on loop
Oh, I think I
all
know.
day, every day.
Wait, let me guess it.
What?
Wait, oh my god. Coco.
Oh, nah.
No?
Coco's good, but I can't. cry
Coco
that
makes
many
me cry.
times.
Yeah.
Actually, Lilo and Stitch. And
I love Stitch.
Yo,
Ohana means family. Family means nobody
gets left behind.
or forgotten.
I love.
so I
don't do
feel
that.
like I'm Lilo. Like I feel like that's me.
Ohana
the little
is
attitude. Yeah, I could talk like Stitch. I don't know if y'all want that on the
Yeah,
podcast.
go for it.
My name is Stitch. Anyway,
I'm
so
missing the fingers.
I love Stitch.
That explains so much about you.
Stitch is the homie.
And then that's what, but I could watch like because they also had a cartoon series.
That's
Yes, they did.
the cartoon series was fire.
Yeah, with the little cousin
Was
that makes
fuego.
sandwiches. He's my favorite.
They should have.
Sandwiches.
There should have been 600 and whatever episodes of that, but instead there was only like
I
30.
agree. I agree.
I love
Because
Stitch.
each episode is one about each one. So
I got like Stitch all over my office.
Yes.
Downstairs. I love Stitch.
I guess for me, excuse me, there's two movies really. This not kid movies, they're adult movies. One is the 25th Hour. 25th Hour was with Edward Norton. It came out a little bit after 9/11 because they had a scene when they was looking at Ground Zero. It's about a drug dealer who's on his way to jail, excuse me, and he has 25 hours left before he has to report to the prison in Otisville. And basically, it's about him, his two best friends, and he it tells you how he got sentenced and who framed him, and he's trying to get that person, and it's just him with the realization I'm gonna go to jail for 7 years, and he shook, and that is an amazing movie with Edward Norton. I suggest everyone watches it. And then the next movie is a superhero movie, which I think you may know it. It's Watchmen. Watchmen is a fake superhero series that came out. It was a book in the 80s that I had to read for high school. Then I saw the movie. It came out like in 07. And it's about these different superheroes. None of that you know. And it basically tests your morality throughout the whole movie. Because it shows you each of their stories, and then this one big event happens, and it's like to save humanity, but stuff happens. So did you really save humanity? Like, what is just in your eyes? To save 1 million people, will you kill 10,000 people? Like, it tests your morality like that. Like, do your crimes justify you dying even though I'm killing you as a crime? Like, it tests your morality, and you quickly, seeing the movie, and if you watch it with a group of people, you quickly see people's logic and their morale and stuff like that. So, I suggest you watch.
That's a movie we should watch together. You might find out a couple of things.
Yeah, you might. You agree? Like, you'd be like, yo, I bangs with Dr. Manhattan. Like, you know what? Human feelings.
Netflix party thing.
Yeah, so, it's a really good movie that y'all should watch. Also, if you're into what movie, Saving Private Ryan by Tom Hanks. Great movie. Long movie.
You like
but
the deep, like, well thought movies.
Yeah.
I like movies like that too.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm over here like Lilo and Stitch.
I guess if you need a Disney movie, the one Disney movie that gets me in my bag, and I've only watched it one time, I can never watch it again, is Up.
Oh.
The first 10 minutes of Up, I'm like, this is not a kid's movie. Why is Disney showing me
Moment of
this?
silence for Up.
Pour it out.
One time for the one time.
One time. And then TV series to binge. If you want to see growth and a good come up story, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh.
Avatar. That, Naruto, and My Hero Academia, top 3. You want to see growth of a character. You want to fall in love with characters, and 9 times out of 10 they don't die. They just do something wild, stupid, or they get put in a corner. Watch those 3 stories.
You're telling me Stitch didn't have more growth than them? Huh?
Stitch was wilding out every episode.
His badness levels go down, huh?
Wow.
I mean, he did. Didn't he hook up with the pink shorty?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. He toned it down for her, right? He changed.
So, as you guys know, Shady World News, or whatever. Whatever. So today we're gonna talk about the transition between the whole school thing, and now we're going through electronic, learning through electronically.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's just something that's impacting.
I'm sorry, can I leave it?
You good, bro.
Alright.
Rigo, consent is everything.
That's why I asked it. That's why I asked it. So I was like, I'm sorry, can I lay here?
Lay on him for 20 minutes and then look up. Wait, is this okay?
I'm sorry.
Is your wife gonna be jealous? Come on, bro.
I apologize, Jen.
You know who's gonna be jealous? Gigi.
Yeah.
She don't even like
She don't like you to begin with. She gonna be like, you see, Daddy? That's why.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
No.
Tell us, Joseph.
So, all right, the transition to technology.
Yes. So, what's in your perspective? How is that whole transition, between having kids and now having them to learn through the computers? And
It's hard.
Imagine being the teacher.
It's hard. Yeah,
That's
but
right.
I agree with you 100%, but it's also hard because we're not the teachers. So we don't know, at least for me, Common Core math is something that I'm I can't help you with that, and the virtual learning, they kind of just uploading the pages of the book, but there's no way to click on it and do the work from there. And they sent me a video last night. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to watch the video on how to do the work. It doesn't explain how to do the work. It just explains how to sign on. And I'm like, okay, so how do I work this? But it's hard, and it's hard because especially for my daughter. My daughter is used to learning a certain way, and now I have to kind of teach her whatever way I know to teach her, because the teachers are just releasing the pages and stuff, and they send give the parents the teachers guide, so it just has the red print on what to say, But I don't know as far as like how they're gonna go about doing the lessons and stuff. And I mean, she's in 3rd grade, and like the work that I did in 3rd grade is completely different to what it is now. So yeah, it's hard, but we just try to do the best we can.
Yeah. 3rd grade is that pivot point of when like math starts getting harder.
She dividing yet?
Huh?
She dividing yet?
Yeah, she's doing all that stuff, but the Common Core way is so
It's
different.
Yeah.
You know,
Slice it
like
out.
they don't let her use like I suck at math, so I still to this day use my fingers to count, and like they're not allowed to do that. A simple equation that would be like 20 minus 12 or something, you have to like round it off and make. I didn't learn that way, so it's a lot harder for me to try to teach her, and then she gets frustrated because that's not the way she was taught in school. So like she feels like I'm undoing everything that her teachers were showing her. And she had like the state exams this year, so they got canceled or whatever, but the bulk of the work that they were doing was towards the state exams, so it's a lot.
I have a lot of opinions about our education system. New York City, it's so different. A lot of it can be because of the economy. Like, depending on where you are, that's the kind of education that you get, the level and the greatness of the education you get. But I think this specific incident is worse because we're forcing parents to be teachers who have no background. And I think it's hard for the kids in our community because their parents might not even speak English. Their parents might
Or
not
learn how to read, or know how to read.
I'm thinking more of that. It's like it's not even the fact that you don't know the material. Can you even access the material?
Well,
Right.
actually, some schools were giving away like
laptops?
laptops and iPads.
Yeah, the Department
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Education is giving those resources to you.
Are they giving
but
away Wi-Fi too?
Not
They
having.
actually bought like hotspot.
Oh, that's lit.
But the
That's lit.
problem is not having the resources at home. You know,
Right.
like if you don't have an older sibling that can help you with it, and your parents, or even if your parents are still working out there, or they don't understand the language, you're pretty much on your own.
And I don't know how much they're giving per family because some families have 3 kids, some family got 1, some have 5 or more. Like, you know,
And
like,
you get one laptop for those 5
It's
kids.
like, oh, I gotta wait my turn. It's like when you're trying to use the
I also,
bathroom.
like, I feel, I want to shout out, like, our teachers that are trying, like, to make it smooth as possible. I have this jornalista on Instagram, and she posted, like, a little snippet of the videos that she was sending her kids because she teaches 1st graders, and she's like, I know what their backgrounds are, and I know that their parents don't speak the language. And she speaks Spanish, but she's like, there's things that I can't translate to the parents that speak Bangladesh. Like, so she's making videos, like, actually teaching the content and talking to them and things like that. So, it's a lot, and the turnaround time was not a lot.
Yeah, they barely had a week. So shouts out to the teachers doing their best.
Me being
Not Rigo.
I see. No, here's the thing, right? So I am for those of you who don't know, I am a high school chemistry and physics teacher. I'm a high school science teacher. So I lucked out, right? Because my students are self-sufficient and old enough to do what they gotta do on their own. These teachers that teach, I want to say maybe 5th grade and under, that the kids may not know how to work technology, I feel so bad for them because imagine teaching a 1st grader, even though the generation now, they're all tech savvy. Like, you give like a 2-year-old your phone, they're up there watching their favorite YouTube video like that, right? Some of them don't know because some of them, either, number one, their parents are old school, they're not exposed to that technology, they can't afford it. And just trying to teach through a video is hard. Like me, I teach chemistry, is like, it's so hard to explain to you XYZ through a video, right? And something that would take, I'm saying as the teacher, time to make in a video, it takes 3 seconds to say to you in person that you'll get it, right? So not only for the children is this hard, but this is also hard on the teachers, especially those older teachers who are close to retiring that never picked up a phone to maybe 2011, right? When their little flip phone is no longer out of commission, right? Just trying to transform is just difficult for everybody, right? And there's a lot of perks in the sense that now you get to teach time management, right? Because me, before, I used to lollygag so much at work and making material. Now it's like, all right, now I can get up at like I could sleep in or whatever. I start working at say 5 o'clock at night. I work to maybe like 9 or 10, and I'm done for the week, right? And I load everything up as I go, and now like my time management is better. But I feel like but now I have to work harder, as opposed to my time management being worse, and I'm going into work and it's just being a breeze. Like, all right, guys, this, we're done. Another thing too is this is all assuming that the kids get it in the first shot. You watching the video. Every teacher could tell you 98% of the time a kid is never going to get it in the first time. Or they're going to say they got it and they got it wrong. And the questions. And I know because I was that question kid coming out with left field questions. Right? Especially for science. Science that opens up the whole Pandora's box of questions. Right? And it is just so difficult. And not only that, but you miss the interaction. Like, they may be a pain in your butt while they were in that room, but like you think about it, it's like, yo, I miss this kid like making a joke in the class and me just dying. Like, I miss just me like, yo, you know what, guys, today we're gonna do blah 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 blah. Like having fun with them.
It's hard to like, on that note, because their lives are changing too.
Yeah.
One of my old job, my friend, my old coworker hit me up and told me, she was like, hey, by the way, so and so's dad passed away. And it's hard, and it's like, how do you? Now there's the boundaries that you have to cross because that's your student. You want to make sure that he's okay. He's going through this big monumental event in his life, plus this pandemic. Like, it's not easy. And it's like, that's something that, like, as a teacher you provide because you're another adult in your life.
Well, that goes to what he's that. So literally, one of the last points you were just saying there, connected. This is literally my whole thing on it. Is it changes the dynamic of how we interact with each other, right? And so that's already been happening because of technology, social media, all those things. But now, before this, it wasn't the primary source of how we connected with people. Like it always added to, or it was something kind of supplementary around. And so I think, okay, let me say this. I think it's good, this part, that you're pushing teachers to step out of their comfort zone, to learn a little bit more. I also think that it's good that you're pushing students and parents to step out their comfort zone to learn something a little bit more. But the danger I see is, are we distancing ourselves from each other more, in a sense? You know what I'm saying? Rather than like really building communities where like there's kind of these like fake interactions, or not fake because they're still real people, but they're not full. They're like, it's not
organic.
Yeah, like I can send
like
you a message online. I can send you a text. It's still different than calling on the phone. It's still different than sitting down with you in person.
I agree with you. The one thing I can say about this is like everyone will be tech savvy when we're done. Like everyone's gonna have some type of
somebody
knowledge.
gonna get left really bad behind.
That's also a thing. But at least you're gonna be, some people are gonna gain proficiencies in things that we're gonna need for the future. Technology, Word, Microsoft, whatever it is, they're gonna gain proficiencies in it. The only thing I can say is that I'm an old school. So even though I'm like a younger teacher, I'm old school. So I'm like pen and paper, like pencil and paper, like put the pen and paper.
That's how you learn.
That's how. Well, I'm not for nothing. I still like writing it down is better than when I put it in my notes.
Yeah.
Like, I'll forget it.
I remember it more when I wrote it down. There's pros and cons to everything going on.
Yeah.
Like what Vigo said, you're gonna learn how to do things differently. You're pushing boundaries, but I feel like you're also adding, and it kind of like goes back to what Vigo said before. You're learning time management, but I feel like it's getting people lazy too, because you don't have to follow a routine anymore. It's not like you have to be at school by 7 o'clock or by 8 o'clock. And I feel like that's gonna hurt a lot of these kids too. Like whenever we do go back to school, trying to get these kids back on a routine. I try to keep the routine as normal as possible, but there's only so much you can do when the kid is trapped inside the house.
I'm trying to do the opposite. I'm like, look, I know. Well, I guess it's because I'm in high school. I know these boys so good that I know you're gonna wait till the last minute, and like you're gonna do like you're gonna be so flooded with work from the other teachers due by 3 p.m. that you're gonna miss someone's work, and I'm gonna get tight if you miss mine. So I kind of do like a college style, like all right, let's do that 11:59. Like if I say today, let's do that 11:59 tomorrow, right? So now you got all this time. I'm giving you almost 48 hours from when I post it up to do it. It's gonna take you 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and those 48 hours. You're telling me you can't do it?
No, but
You'll
I'm
be
talking
no,
about
no.
in general.
I know,
Time
but then
management
here's the
thing.
thing. Here's the thing.
It,
You be
it,
shocked.
you need like a self-discipline
I know.
that most people don't have.
My thing is-
especially,
And especially kids.
My thing,
especially in our current culture, like that doesn't teach discipline.
My
it
thing-
teaches be loose, do whatever the heck
Yeah.
you want.
I'm,
you know what I'm
you
saying?
know, this is common sense would tell you, and I say this open with. If you hand it to me early, I could check it, send it back to you. You can fix it again. You know how many students at 11:58 is handed it in?
That
With
was
all
us.
the-
That's us.
Like literally, and I'm like,
That's us.
I'm the type of person that's like, let me get out the way first thing, bang, done.
Not many people
Yeah.
think like you.
You know,
And you
And
have to
get
remember, we're
self-discipline.
talking.
Wait, hold on. Did you guys know that? Maybe I'm dating it back a little bit, but one of the top school systems in the world is Finland, and
Yeah.
it's because their school days are way shorter than ours, and they encourage kids to do other things besides school. Like
That makes sense.
their homework could be like learn how to cook X, Y, and Z today.
they were
Go
like
outside and
fourth in
find
like
this
science
today.
and like third in math, something like that. Like,
Yeah.
but this was like years ago. I can
But I
imagine
feel
now.
like,
balance.
but yeah,
Yes.
but kids need that. Like
Yeah.
you'll see it
People
now.
need that.
Yes, but you'll see it now. Like I try to implement like a bunch of different things with Soraya, try to keep her entertained, and so it's still not enough. You know, it's not. But
You know how many kids I have too that during they play sports. During their sports seasons, they are monsters on the field and then monsters in the class. Like I'm like
They gotta be. If not, they
99,
can't play.
and that's because they want to sleep one class and like, yo, Mr. G, I could afford not to do the work. I'm like, yo, do you, bro? It's 2020. Like, do whatever you want, and they come out with a 99. Right, but then the second their season is over, they just start like falling off the rails because they have nothing to
that balance.
Yeah, that balance. It's just now it's just school and that's it. They fall off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, so the big, like, theological term, psychosomatic experience, right? Like, our psychology,
you can text that to
our
us later.
psychosoma, psychology is connected to our soul and the spirits,
Yeah.
right? And we're body beings. So everything we do influences it. Like, what you do physically influence. Like, that's why I wake up early in the morning and work out first, because it helps me think better for the rest of the day.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I be looking at your videos and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow.
That's why. But no, I will
Zeke
say
been working out for the past year.
I'll be like, yeah, Brandon, get it, Brandon.
that 9 times out of 10, when I used to go to the gym, working out in the morning was more efficient
Than working at night.
At night, because by the time you got to 6 p.m., it's like you don't need a nap.
And it gives you, it like wakes you up. It gives you a whole nother burst of energy.
you just broke the whole. Anyway,
You broke the table.
Oh.
As long as it was the table and not
As
the
a
mic, you
college
guys.
student, it's a little harder because like I never took online classes.
They
'Cause I
suck.
personally
Yeah.
cannot sit at a
suck.
screen
I took one.
and learn. Like after a while, my eyes start to hurt. Like I can't stare at a screen all the time. And like the teachers are just sending the material and expect you to learn it, and then like I'm pretty much the professor now. Like
Yeah.
I could have googled this and do it myself,
Look
right?
at you, got a new job.
But,
Except
but
we
I
don't get paid for it.
And then like you had to do video chats now with other professors, and it's like weird because some people their signals are not working, or like you can't hear properly, or it's really weird. Like,
Yeah.
it's-
Catfish to a whole new level.
so
Yeah,
it's like-
another thing too is that you run the risk of like stuff. Technology has like a curve that won't work. In person always works because I'll always see you unless I magically go blind and go deaf.
That's how we see you rolling your eyes at Vanessa.
I did not roll my eyes at her last episode. Guys, comment that.
Not caught that.
I did not know because I looked at you and then I looked at Heidi. Like I was looking at the process and then I looked back.
Be the fifth, bro.
I did.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Nah, I'm standing by my
Anyway,
stance.
continue, Josue.
So it's
With
like
your
really
suit.
weird, and like at least they offered that like guidance as well before they closed on CUNYs. They told professors and like other staff students if you need help with anything, like come, we'll have workshops. So at least they had that, but it's still also much you can do from behind the screen. Like you can't tell me I can learn all the little.
Because I feel like, I mean, especially for myself, like I learn more from hearing other people talk than I do from reading it myself. So like I need that human interaction to be like, oh, you know what? That's a good point. I didn't
Can't
see
even
it that
read.
way. Excuse me?
I can't even read.
Oh yeah, I know. Just making sure you said you couldn't read.
Catch me outside. How about that?
So it's hard. I like
You be
to
getting gangster in
hear.
here real quick.
Yo, for real. It be like,
I told you shouldn't watch TV with me. You might see different sides.
Watch your mouth, chachi.
Also was I couldn't read.
But hearing other people's take on it, I mean, even like when we're in meetings and stuff like that, be like, oh, that's good. I didn't think of it that way, and blah blah blah. Like I need that in interaction. But at least the bright side is that the way that they set this up, you guys are not losing out on your semester. You don't got to start all over. Yeah. The kids don't have to, they don't have to worry about repeating the grade or anything
Hopefully
like
this
that.
don't last a long time, and it's just
hopefully,
a blink of an eye.
it's it's a month and you guys are back. But
this is one thing in this whole thing before we end that makes me laugh. It's that we always have those bad kids in school. Like we see in those posts that's like, oh, homeschool 2 kids just got suspended and the teacher got fired. Oh, yeah. I'm just like, I hope this is an experience that brings families closer together, in the sense that nowadays a lot of kids are not spending time with their parents because they're busy, either looking at a screen, or the job does not, you miss schedules and stuff like that. Life is hard. I hope now, since everyone is home, you're not in separate. Huh?
For the most part.
For the most part, you're all just not in separate rooms. Like mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, Theo, big sister, big brother is trying to help someone learn, trying to help someone get adjusted. And in this off time, because a lot of time you have some time to relax with your family members, get to know them a little bit better and stuff like that. I know me and my grandma has been spending a lot of time together back at the house because our schedules never mix. It was great the first 3 days. The last 3 days, oh God, grandma. And then, but it everything that we do always ends with, yo, I love you so much. I'm like, yo, I love you too, grandma. And we don't have those moments like that anymore because of our schedules. So I hope that in this whole pandemic and this whole pandemonium, people get closer together, first with their families and then with each other. But don't catch corona.
Can we also just, before we close, just to have this in mind while we pray, to pray for those kids that have very unstable homes, very abusive homes, that enjoy going to school because it's their only way out.
Those kids who are only children that don't have anyone at home really.
Pray for their safety. Pray for their safety. Pray for their health. Pray that although the Department of Ed has been doing great with handing out food and stuff like that, they can actually get the food and everything that they need. And just pray for their well-being, because again, this is a trying time, and this is, we all make light of the situation, but there's some kids out there that are really suffering because they're stuck at home with their parents or step-parents, foster parents, whatever they may be.
Well, they just live in a loud Latino home and they can't focus at all because everybody don't know how to shut up.
That's why I don't do no video stuff, yo. I'm like, can we have a video? Nope.
I'm busy on a call.
But I will say that I was one of those kids who had no support, like growing up with homework and stuff like that. And thank God that he gave me like the brains that he gave me, because I wouldn't have been able to figure this stuff out. And I have an older brother, but what does he know? He doesn't want to hang out with his little sister. You know what I'm saying? So I really hope that those kids find someone to be there. And yeah, like even if like my comadre is FaceTiming me so that I can
explain the word,
do homework with my godson and stuff like that. But like, hopefully these kids have someone like that in their lives.
Shout out to Yamita.
No, what?
Yeah, you've been doing it every episode. So
No. I was going to say, shout out to all the teachers, social workers, everybody out there trying to do their part. Hopefully you do give it 100% like you were in the classroom. And shout out to all the students out there. Hopefully you too will give it 100% to try to learn while you're at home. Do remote learning. Do what you got to do.
So Holy Spirit, I kind of think we already have said our intentions in this way. But in this time where there are things that are inconveniencing so many people, be it teachers, be it students, be it families, be it just our way of life as a whole, may we kind of learn something and get that flat tire fixed so we can push forward. Mother Mary, St. Joseph, pray for us. Name of Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Also, shout out to my mamita. Shout out to my mamita. Shout out this episode.
Yes. Bye.